So let me give you a little bit of background before we meet the mentors and all the other wonderful people that are going to be involved in this event, and then open the floor up to, answering any questions. So, this sort of comes back off the back of my own personal experience. So, for the last few years, I've been sort of somewhat unhappy with some of the choices life has sort of thrown at me. Really more around my employment and just being constantly told and sort of made to sort of suck it up. Every decision I didn't agree with, I was told to suck it up. And I sucked it up and I sucked it up and I sucked it up so much that I actually became mentally and spiritually constipated. It was, and I was basically just like a walking zombie, and I had just packed all this stuff down, and I'd packed it down so hard that I knew at some point it was going to have to shift, and that was going to take a lot of work to make it shift. So in January, I took some steps to do that. And so I went and did a course that, what I wanted to get out of that course was really to, move from being alive to enlivened, actually have a sense of purpose again and, be able to throw some good out into the world. And that's where I met, Sage and Zac and Tayla. And through that course, we all shared and, sort of showed our talents and that sort of thing. And I was impressed with each of them. Each of them, has, a really great skill that needs to be shared with the world. And I wanted to provide a platform in which, they could help, use their talents and their skills to help people like me and, any other person that is feeling stuck or stagnated or at crossroads or, needing some sort of inspiration, to move forward. And it's interesting because that inspiration was never going to come from an intellectual place. I couldn't reason myself out of this. I knew everything I needed to know. And, I like to think I'm a relatively intelligent sort of person, but it wasn't an intellectual problem, right? So I found that trying to address whatever was going on for me somatically, which means using, movement and using words and using drama, was actually what shifted. Well, it actually shifted the stuff that I needed to shift. And I never thought it would have come from that place. I always thought intellectually that's how I could reason myself out of anything, but I just couldn't. So with that, I want to introduce the mentors. And Tams. Tams is our other mentor too. Sorry, Tams. Tams I met locally. And the more I've gotten to know Tams quite personally over the last month or so. And Tams is just an absolute, I don't know how to describe you. Tams is just like a little earth angel. She's just wonderful. And it's so great to have this lineup of Tams and Sage and Zac and Tayla. These guys are just phenomenal, and they've all got these wonderful gifts to share with you lot. So let's start with Zac. Are you happy to start?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, great. Okay, so Zac's just going to introduce himself, say a little bit about what he's bringing to the event, and if you have any questions, put them in the chat, and we'll get to that. Okay, Zac, take it away.
Okay, so my name's Zachary Phillips. I'm a poet and an author. I'm currently studying a Master of Counselling, and basically what I do with, with people, with myself, is use words to heal. I've come from quite a troubled past, and I found that the ability to write and express what I'm feeling onto the page is both healing in the moment and over the long term. You can see where you are in that moment, get it down, get it out, and the act of expression is healing. And then the act of looking back over those words sort of shows you that the place you are isn't the place you always have been and isn't the place you always will be, because you're seeing yourself move and evolve over time. So what I hope to bring to people is basically give you the gift of writing. Now, that I use poetry, but this could be free expression, journaling, creative writing in any sense, or just the ability to use the page as a way to better understand yourself. There's more to it, but that's the rough little summary there.
Cool. Tams, are you happy to introduce yourself next? and let everyone know what you're bringing to the event?
I can do that. So my name is Tams. I'm the artist behind Soul Stories. And I'll be taking you through a session focusing on art, play, and storytelling, along with passing on a few golden nuggets about the importance of creativity and leaning into your intuition, and how that's a large part of equaling your happiness and well-being in life. So in a nice nutshell.
Cool. Sage.
Hi, everyone. One of my greatest passions right here, well, it's not very current, it's been around for a while, since a really young age, is the practice of dance and movement. So it'll be my great joy to be able to support us all and hold space as we go on a dancing freedom journey. So what that is it's I describe it as like an ecstatic dance practice meets ceremony. So the space will be there for us to move with music in any way that feels true and authentic. And explore our inner and outer world amongst the community. Hopefully, I like to think we'll all be there together and enjoy ourselves and just be present with whatever's shifting, whatever's moving. And I suspect it'll work well as an integration piece with whatever else is on offer for the weekend. Yeah.
Thanks, Sage. And Tayla. Introduce yourself.
Hello, beautiful people. I'm really, really grateful to be here with you all. In order to introduce myself, what I'd love to do is ask you all if you could grab a pen and paper briefly, and I'll give you a look. I'm ready to go. Some of you may already have a pen and paper. I'll give you about 10-15 seconds to grab that if you didn't bring one. I didn't ask you to prepare that, so I'll just give you a moment. Just any piece of paper. Yeah, it looks like notes. Yeah, cool. Does anyone need to go grab one? Yeah, okay, I see one person leaving. Cool. Is anyone still, looks like there's a person on Robin's screen in the corner. Does anyone need to go still grab a pen and paper? Just pop it in the chat box so I know, but it looks like you're all here ready to go. Cool, thumbs up, awesome. My name's Tayla, and what I'll be bringing to this beautiful event is a workshop called Who Am I? I'm going to give you a really brief taste of what that might feel like and something that we'll be diving into together now. I want you to start to ask yourself about the goals that you have in your life. Just start to allow this to percolate in your mind. What are my goals? What do I want to explore? And as that's starting to come to your mind, I want you to allow your subconscious to bring through the most significant goals that you'd like to explore over the next 5 years. And I'll make it even easier for you. I'd love for you to take a breath with me, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And with this pen and paper, or you might have your phone, I want you to write down 3 goals that you'd like to achieve in the next 5 years. And I want these 3 goals to be the most significant goals to you, the challenging ones, the ones that feel like an edge. Perhaps the ones that you've been avoiding. Maybe it's felt like too great of a mountain to climb. What are the 3 big goals that you'd really like to achieve, and also experience over the next 5 years? I'll give you a few moments to journal, jot those down. And once you've got those 3 big significant goals, if I could just pop in the chat box like, yep, got the goal, so I know that you're all ready to go. And if it's still coming to you, I just recommend slowing down a little bit, breathing in through your nose, and being really curious. What are 3 big, significant goals to me that I'd like to achieve, explore, experience over the next 5 years of my life? What are they? Cool, I think we've almost got all of you. Just taking your time, just dropping it in the chat box when you're ready. Cool. I think we've got a couple more. Once again, just allowing this to be a really curious process for you, taking a deep breath, even if you've already come up with those goals, just taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just enjoying breathing. Beautiful. I think I've got most of you in there. So if you could close your eyes with me, each of you, just briefly for a minute. I think keeping these 3 goals in your mind. I want you to close your eyes with me, and I want you to start imagining yourself experiencing these 3 goals. See yourself living these 3 goals, one by one. Just starting with the first goal. See yourself living and breathing this goal. And the second goal. Living and breathing this goal. And the third goal. Living and breathing this goal. And I want you to become aware of any sensations that are coming up for you. What does it feel like in your body? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you doubtful? Is there pressure around this goal? Do you feel like you can do it? Or does it feel like a pipe dream? Just start exploring. What are the sensations that are coming up in your body? Does it feel expansive? Or does it feel tight? And there's no right or wrong answer here. We're just simply exploring the sensations that come up in the body with these 3 goals. Just for you. You're exactly where you need to be. Just taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. I want you to imagine that you, over the next 5 years, get to experience these goals, these 3 beautiful goals that are unique to you. You get to do it. It's yours. It's happening. I just want you to invite even more sensations. And before getting into a bias of whether you might feel like it's a positive or a negative sensation, I want you to just allow the sensation to be there. Just invite it. Just acknowledge it. Whatever it feels like for you is perfect. 3 more breaths here, in through the nose. See if you can lengthen the breath and out through the mouth. And in through the nose. And just feel yourself receiving these goals, increasing your capacity to actually be the person that gets to experience these goals. Breathing in, breathing out. And one more breath together. When you're ready, breathing in through the nose and breathing out. Ah, beautiful. And just opening your eyes softly and coming back into this space. Now, if you've got a pen and paper, I want you to draw something. And if you've got your phone, that's okay. You can just bullet point these notes. Has anyone, and just do a raise of hands here, has anyone ever heard of the comfort zone, the growth zone, and the danger zone? Has anybody ever heard of this? Getting a few hands, cool. Is this new for anyone? You've never heard of this model, comfort zone, growth zone, danger zone. Is this new to anybody? Never heard of it before? Yeah, cool. All right, so I want you to draw something for me. I want you to draw a circle in the middle of your page. There's no right or wrong here. You're just simply drawing a circle. This is going to be the comfort zone. I've got a picture for you so you can easily see what you're going to draw. And then you're going to draw another circle around that circle. As you can see, I've got some squircles. They're not perfect circles. And then a third circle. So you're going to have 3 rings around each other. And if you have your mobile phone and you don't have the drawing capacity, I want you to just write comfort zone, growth zone, and danger zone. Cool. I'll just give you a few moments to draw that up. Now, whether you're hearing this method for the first time or you've heard this method plenty of times, it's just as impactful. And we're going to explore it together just briefly to give you a touch of what we're going to explore in our weekends together. So I think that you should all probably be finished just looking at your beautiful faces. Cool. So I want you to imagine that comfort zone in the middle is where you usually hang out with all these different beliefs and ideas and values and all these programs that you've been taught, whether that be in your childhood, whether that be socially, in different types of cultures, whether it be from your friends and your different peer groups, whether that be from the workplace, whether that be from religion, whether that be television and the programs that you're watching and the different channels on TV or Netflix or Facebook or different social media platforms. There's all these programs running, right? I want you to imagine that you've got a comfort zone. That's where you usually hang out right now. And that might be different to who you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right? This is an evolving comfort zone. I want you to think about that comfort zone for you right now and what that looks like. And then I want you to see the growth zone, that second sphere of your life, a new capacity, a new parameter that you're stepping into, a new version of yourself that you're becoming. And I want you to see your goals, these 3 significant goals in that growth zone. See, sometimes we're in the comfort zone and we're going, oh, I've got these goals. I can't comprehend why they're not coming true. Like I've got these aspirations for who I am, this human being that's here. I came here for a reason. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to explore. This is the next goal for me that I'd like to step into over the next 5 years. And sometimes we think that way, and yet we're staying in our comfort zone where our goals are actually hanging out in that growth zone. So my question for you tonight is, what is currently out of your comfort zone and in your growth zone that is required for you to step into in order for you to actually achieve these 3 goals? What needs to change? What needs to transform? What do you need to let go of that you think you are, you think you believe, you think is true? What do you need to let go of? And what do you need to actually take on for you to experience these goals? Because you can experience these goals. Every single one of you can experience these goals. What are you willing to let go of in order to step into that growth zone? And what are you willing to try that's new, that feels different, that feels unfamiliar? Because the truth is, you would have already experienced and achieved these goals if you were living in the growth zone. And maybe you've lived in the growth zone before. In fact, I guarantee all of you in some way, shape, or form have lived in the growth zone before, because you're here with me now. What we're going to be exploring on our weekend together, a workshop called Who Am I, is who do you get to become to actually embody these goals and experience these goals. That's what I'm passionate about. Your dreams. What did you come here for? Why are you holding back? What are you scared of? And how do we break through those limitations and create a new zone of genius for you? How do we create a zone of growth that actually feels comfortable for you? How do we actually expand that little circle? I want you to imagine that little circle in the middle just dissipating. And see that circle, the growth zone, just becoming so much bigger with so much more capacity. Now, just briefly, this is my last point, that danger zone. I want you to just consider right now, just contemplate, where have you been telling yourself that your goals are in the danger zone? Where have you made that up? Because you'll be the only person telling yourself that and believing it. Where have you told yourself that my goals are dangerous? Why are they dangerous? Because you'd have to let go of other beliefs and ideas and values to step into a new zone. So where have you told yourself that these 3 goals are actually dangerous for you? If I do that, that'll mean this about me, and it will challenge my identity. Who am I? Well, you're whoever you want to be. So I encourage you to bring those 3 goals actually into that growth zone right here, right now. And together, let's explore that on a beautiful weekend, out in nature, connecting with community, feeling our hearts, connecting with our imagination, our intelligence, coming together to grow. That's what I'll be exploring with you.
Tayla. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So you can now see, just by that little example, how talented and insanely inspiring that, these guys are. And when we get all these, like when we get Zac, Tams, Tayla, and Zac into a weekend, supporting you to be the best version of yourself, and shedding and working on anything that's unwanted or anything that's stopping you from being the best version of yourself. The opportunity is there, and this is what we're presenting on this weekend. It's an opportunity to work on yourself. It's an opportunity to step out of the day-to-day grind, to step away from, you know, kids and work and, you know, the sort of stuff that usually stops us from really finding the time and the capacity to look at ourselves and figure out, all right, where am I now? What's working, what's not working, what needs to change, what can stay. But not only that, I'm going to support you the best way we can. So I'd like to just quickly introduce you to Julie. So we brought Julie on board because Julie makes the most beautiful, nourishing food and is very well known in our local town for that. And yeah, we didn't want to serve up, you know, cold sausages and white bread. We just thought that was just really poor form. And, you know, we all know that when we eat good food, we're nourished in both body and mind, you know, to do well, and we be well when we eat well. So I'll stop talking and say hello to Julie.
Hi. What can I say? I love to cook. I like to feed people nourishing food to help them deal with the days that they have ahead. That's it.
Anyway, having tasted Julie's food, you know, I have absolutely no doubt that you will feel cared for and nourished with what she's providing. So, so that's all I think I wanted to do for intros. Does any of our guests have any questions that they'd like to ask any of the mentors? Yeah, Tams just put a note in the chat, don't be scared to ask. All right, well, what I might do then is I might just answer some of the questions that people have sent to me previously on social media. One is, yeah, and if is there a follow-up if something comes up? So Rod's just sent me a message in the chat. Is there a follow-up if something comes up? I'm not sure what you mean, Rod. Would you mind jumping on and explaining what you mean?
Okay, say you go through a couple of processes and then something happens in the next couple of days. Are we able to contact the mentors?
Absolutely. So part of what we are doing is that we are having workshops after the actual 3-day immersion. So Tam will be running a group workshop, Zac and Tayla will all be running a group workshop. So if anything does come up for you that you want to speak to these guys about, absolutely. And look, I have absolutely no doubt that if you wanted to send any of them an email and ask them a question or, you know, work with them further or whatever it is that you needed, that they'd be more than happy to have a chat to you. So, yeah. Does that answer your question, Rod?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Good. All right. What else do we want to say? Yeah, so we've had a couple of questions around the cost of the event. And the cost of the event, we've kept it as low as we possibly can because we want it to be accessible, but we also want it to be a top quality event. Okay. So in not only the top quality of, you know, providing mentors that are, you know, well ahead of their game, there's the quality of food. We want, like we said earlier, we wanted to make sure that you were well fed and well nourished. We also, part of the cost is booking out the whole entire site. So we didn't want other camps to be there at the same time we were there. And we wanted to have exclusive use of the kitchen and the meeting room and all the bathroom facilities. So again, that's all wrapped up in the cost of having the privilege of not having any other group or any other camp there at the same time that will be there. In addition to that, insurance. Insurance is always, like, you know, a massive cost to any event. So just to make sure that, look, in the really unlikely event that anything did happen, that you know, we were all covered. And we wanted to keep it as a small group. So, you know, I've been to a few different activities and camps and things like that. And there's sometimes there's so many people, you feel like you're lost in the crowd. And we want to make sure that the people that came felt like they were being heard, that they felt like anything they wanted to bring up, that there was time for that. And the chance to bond with the other people. So the other guests, if there's too many people, you just don't have time to get around and meet everybody or remember, different things about people. And it's that bond that we're hoping to create that will last beyond the 3 days. And then people will feel supported in moving through and, moving, as Tayla said, moving from that comfort zone into the growth zone and being able to be comfortable there. Yeah. All right, what other questions? Oh, hang on, there's a, hello everyone, I'm a low-key control freak. Can we find out about the program of events, accommodation, details and pictures? Yes, Jess, you can. So let me break that. I think there's a few questions in what you've asked me. So yes, the program of events, absolutely. So the program events will be issued. You've already bought a ticket, so yes, you will absolutely get that. We can run through that during our pre-event call if there's anything specific that you need or anything that you want. And also accommodation details. If you jump onto the, that's all actually all listed on the Humanities event page. If you read through the description, it's there. Accommodation details of pictures. Yeah, that is also on the, I think I put some up there on the Humanities page. If not, if you go to the Manjara Outdoor Education Centre website, and I can put that website in the chat for you, they'll have pictures. And if that's not enough for you, let me know and I'll send you a couple of pictures that I took with my own phone. But yeah, we will make sure that you're comfortable. Yeah. Does that answer your question, Jess? Good. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. Any other questions for us?
Rob had one that before Jess's.
Oh, sorry, Rob. Did I miss first aid if needed? Yeah, sorry, Rob. I did miss that. First aid, yes, absolutely. So we have at least 3 first aid officers that are trained. So myself, Andrew, and one of our other crew members, Alex. She's also trained in first aid. Where the camp is located, we're only 10 minutes away from the town of Hayfield, which has an ambulance service and also has a very small hospital. So if anything was to go wrong in regards to first aid, we're only 10 minutes away from help. So they're going to get there pretty quick if we need them. So yeah, we're pretty safe where we are. Yeah, so Andrew's just put in, Andrew's just put in the link in the chat to Manjara if you want to have a quick look. And like I said, if there's not enough pictures up there to make you feel comfortable, you let me know. And I'll send you some that I took on my own phone of what I saw there. And keeping in mind, though, we're going to use Tams and Sage to really pretty up the place as well. So it's going to look pretty special. Okay, any other questions for us? Just trying to think if there's anything I've missed. We've already run through that. There's going to be a pre-event phone call just to, see where you're at, see if there's anything specific that you need, address any concerns you have, answer any questions. Then we have the event. And then the post-immersion workshops. So it's not just 3 days. And I think that's the thing we need to highlight here, is that it's so much more than just a 3-day event. There's the pre and post-immersion support as well.
I'll jump in with a question.
Yeah. Rod, how many is not too many? Okay, good question, Rod. So we've limited the event to 18 participants. We wanted to make sure that everybody was comfortable in regards to accommodation. And look, in all honesty, we could put 4 to 6 people in per cabin. but I've just absolutely said refuse to do that. I've been to a number of yoga teacher trainings where they do put 6 people in a cabin, and it's actually really uncomfortable. So I just said, no, I'd rather limit the amount of people that come and just make sure that people are comfortable. In addition to that, just touching on the accommodation again, there is a question on the ticket booking link that does ask you about your preferences. So, if you are concerned about who you're going to bunk in with, if you don't know that person, absolutely we can address any requests that you have. So, for example, if you only want to be with a female, if you don't want to be with somebody who smokes, anything else that we can do to make you comfortable. And even if you're coming up by yourself and you'd like to, meet the person that you are going to be, bunking in with, then absolutely we can set up a chat before you actually get there if we need to. We're happy to do. Snorers. Yeah, snorers. Rod, we're going to use a pillow over the snorer to muffle them. I'm joking, we're not. I do have a contingency plan for snoring. If it is, no, we're not going to beat them up, Tam. If we do need to separate somebody out, we can accommodate that. I have just sort of kept up my sleeve a spare room just in case for some reason we do need to separate somebody out for some reason. So yeah, as long as there's not 18 people that snore, then I think 1 or 2 we will be able to manage. Or maybe just bring some earmuffs, Rod. Okay, so Andrew, what is the best way for people to send any questions if they think of them later or if they're watching this recording? Send me an email. Okay, so info@breakingboxes.com.au. We'll pop that in the chat just so you can send us any questions. We'll be happy to answer them. You can also send me messenger messages. Anything, really about anything, whether it's about the program. Is Robin, is there any quiet time reflection factored into the weekend? Yeah, absolutely. Not only in between the sessions, but I believe in the sessions as well. So it's not all just information. There is time, there is information, and there's time to absorb and practice and, mull over whatever's going on. I've also made sure that the meal times are extra long. So it's not just here, rush, eat and get on to your next session. There's plenty of time just to sit and chat and bond with the other participants. So yeah, absolutely, Robin. Cool. Anything else? Anything else that people want to know? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, going. Sold. I think we're done. Okay. If you do watch the recording later, or you do think of something after the call, yeah, absolutely. Please feel free to email me. The other thing I'll encourage you all to do as well is that if there's somebody that you really think would benefit from this event, send them the link to this recording. Share the post with them. There's a lot of information on the YouTube channel. So Tams, Sage, Zac and Tayla have all done quite an in-depth interview, which explains their craft, explains their passions, explains what they're bringing. So that is a really good source of information that you can tap into as well. We really wanted you to feel comfortable with spending your time and energy and effort on yourself. And it's a big deal when, you may not know the mentors, and trusting these people to take you on a journey. So, yeah, we've put as much information out there. Rod Williams, they're ace. Yes, they are ace. They're absolutely right. These guys are ace. That's why we put them together. That's why this is an all-star lineup. And I just honestly don't think that you can't attend this event and not benefit in some way. It's just absolutely set up for you to succeed in so many different ways. And this is honestly why we've tapped into so many different crafts. Like we've got art and dance and movement, and Tayla brings so much through her mindfulness practices. So yeah, even if you think you're not going to get anything out of it, I promise you that you will. Can you add all the extra links to the end of this chat? Absolutely, Tams. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll actually even put them in the description of this video so people can access them. It might be a bit easier to do that. So I'll upload this meeting to YouTube. So yeah, feel free to share the link around, and I'll put the links in for Manjara and yeah, anything else that people have wanted into the description. The other thing too is that if I'll encourage you also to tap into these guys' pages. So these guys all have Facebook pages and YouTube channels and TikToks, and put it on CCV. What's CCV, Rod? Is that not a security camera, a CCV? What have I missed? Oh, Conscious Community Victoria. Yes, right. So, sorry, Rod has a page. My mind went to a security camera. So, yes, Rod has a page called, actually, Rod's got quite a number of pages, but yeah, he's got a page called Conscious Community Victoria, which lists events and a host of other things for people that are willing to connect and develop. It's a really lovely community, actually. It's a really safe and yeah, supportive community. So yeah, thank you, Rod, for that. Yes, I will, absolutely. What else? Yeah, tap into these guys. So Zach's got, you know, quite a lot of stuff out there. He's also got books that he's got out there and free PDFs. Tams is throwing art all over the place at the moment. She's just doing drawings and, you know, sticking them in really weird public places. So if you're lucky, you might come across one of those. You know, Sage is running Dancing Freedom sessions, you know, a few Thursdays a month. So, you know, if you're not sure and you want to have that experience first, then jump on down. And Tayla's always got retreats and other things happening as well. So, yeah, there's so much opportunity, but to get a piece of all of them in one place, yeah, whatever is keeping you stuck, you are most certainly going to, you know, have some level of growth through this. So, yeah, I welcome you all and anybody else who you think may benefit. But yeah, just from personal experience, being stuck and being alive but not enlivened is a really sucky way to live your life. And so, yeah, step into the growth zone. Step into that growth zone. And we're here to support you in that. All right. So with that, I will bid you all good night. And yeah, throw any questions our way. Thank you, Tam, Sage, Tayla, Zac. Julie, we're going to have many more chats. And yeah, thank you everyone else for joining.
Going in, clear the noise. We're going through the feelings. You'll make it out by going.